Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stone Angel Season. It's been a hot minute. This is my first time casting for them. I'm quite excited. Tonight for you, we have Severance versus Radiant. Your first set will be Spirit on Wrecker's Yard. Joining me tonight is my absolute goat, Ghosty. Ghosty, how are we feeling tonight, brother?
I'm pretty keen for this one tonight, Telly. Severance and Radiant are two very strong teams, and what I set to start things off with, then Spirit of all the killers on the Wrecker's Yard. Already, I'm loving this Spirit. Like, I see a perk, personal favorite and all-time beloved perk, Turn Back the Clock. All-time favorite and amazing perk of what you can do with it alongside our usual Corrupt, Eruption, and Pain Rays. Bit of clash and synergy, though, with the Eruption and Turn Back, but does give us that flexibility to go for some range kicks if we need to. But we've had a very quick tag onto Kent very early on the Deep Six side, and we'll be going down very quickly into this trial. But considering that we saw the build that he had to work with this season, we have a money system in play. So the teams are allocated, I believe it's $50 for the matches to pick their perk. And it will mean that either the killer side may have some weaker perks or lesser perks, or the survivor side might be down some perks. So we might be seeing some interesting builds coming up, Telly, but a second tag onto our ace up along our 9 side, transitioning up to the bosses along the 11. There's a lot going on right now in the Spirit set, but this is what you'd expect, as Spirit is known as the queen of chasers. So pretty strong side, I believe, for our killer side. But the survivors have had chances to get some motors working. We did get the unhook onto Ken, so if we can get a little bit more of a chase lasting out from our ace, which we should be able to do since we have a pretty decent little tile to play up on the 12 side into a filler, we could be in a relatively good spot, even with such a quick down and another early tag onto our ace.
Yeah, I think our survivors are looking pretty good right now, as our Quentin is just about to pop the first gen of the trial. Nice little 5 moves ahead value there, dropping the pallet slightly faster. Do we manage to win this 50 play? Oh, starting to be a little bit greedy here, taking the window. Our Spirit double backs. Ace is going to have to play this very well. Oh, Spirit seems to have dropped Chase from the looks of it, heading towards Shaq. Takes the kick onto Shaq, putting the first eruption there. Might be catching out Jake out here, maybe. No, does catches Quentin? Maybe? Sort of, kind of? No! No, oh, we did see a crow here at 6. So it is going to be a bit rough for Jake here, being the first down, and most likely going to be our tunnel out for this match. Look. Oh, does the Spirit find Jake here? Yes, he does. Gets the stun during phase. Starting to phase again. See where he goes. Still playing the same deep 6 tile. Deciding not to take the kick. Very nice. Very, very nice. Looks like our Jake's going to be rotating around to 7, maybe making it to 8. Looks like heading into the locker. We do know Jake has head on, but unluckily, doesn't look like we got a whole lot of value out of that. We're going to see a quick Pain Resonance come in on that top 12 gen. Adam already here, stealthing for save. Spirit opting to head to Shaq, maybe looking at 4. Yes, 4. That's not 4, buddy. That's 5. Sorry. OCE comms, I do EU normally. It's...
Nah, OC is where it's at, Telly.
I gotta get it through my head. It's not there yet. Alrighty. Going back into the game. Oh, Adam taking an unfortunate tag. Most likely we'll be gunning for our Jake as he is our tunnel out. We do hear him. And there is the down. What a crazy play. And catching Adam out, trying to go for the save. Another down. Absolutely amazing. We're going to be taking Adam and going for that pain res once again. We know that we don't have a lot of gen progress from the looks of the gens the survivors are working on. We saw Quentin's gen get blown up, so it was a little bit of a waste, but that's a-okay. We're still getting early stages. Well, it's more like mid-game stages now I'm thinking about it, but you get the idea. Getting the endurance hit, heading up to 12. Does our Spirit commit this? From the looks of it, they do. Might be using power here. trying to sneak onto Adam. Yeah, we start using power here. We hear him and narrowly miss him. Just a little tiny bit. We'll probably be looking to play our power hit. Oh, greet it and loops around. Very, very impressive. Most likely, yeah, most likely taking the pallet. Trying to force him out. Yes, very good job. Oh, was that a bit of a nod? Not a nod, a shake that I saw? A little cheeky shake, maybe?
I don't think it was a shake. I think that might have just been a point of view bug, but I'm a little bit surprised though, Teller, that something I've been thinking about. Asta playing that 12 side mid and dumpster pallet, that is an insanely disgusting setup. A window straight into such a strong pallet setup as well. A little bit on the grosser side, and my favorite perk ever, turn back the clock, denying Ace, I believe, the potential gen pop descent, since I think that gen was basically going to be popping in Potato Savage's face as well. So, as one of I think your favorite sayings, Telly, turn back the clock, value right there.
Very, very correct, Ghosty. Turn back the clock value. Very huge. Oh, bit of a delayed miss there. Look, are we going to be trading? Are we taking the 1-for-1? I believe we are. Oh, we narrowly missed it. We gave him a skin fade. And as we can see, Potato Savage is not happy about the skin fade. Not going too well. Oh, getting a huge light off, launching himself away. Spirit not having power after just using it earlier. Very nice check spot into the stun. Bit of a... I am crazy. Oh, tried to do the item tech. Didn't work. Potato Savage is simply too intelligent for that. Either that or he took the 50. Either way, that secures Adam out of the game, leaving the last two survivors being Ace and Quentin, both with no stages though. So we'll probably be looking for getting immediate hooks and searching for the last survivor over checking gens, I'd imagine. Are we gonna we are indeed turning back to clocking 11 here. Trying to find our Ace player who's somehow managed to stealth around. Sorry, bit of a voice crack there. You love to hear it. Still looking for this Ace. Not entirely sure if... I mean, if they saw the blood leaving the area. Trying to find them at 9 now. Rotating down to 8. From the looks of it, Quentin hasn't been touching a gen. Either that or it's the spectate bug, as it often happens, I've noticed in recent patches. Oh, we have found our Ace player out at the crossover between 8 and 9 at the border, with Quentin already stealthing for the potentially, from the looks of it, he has a flashlight. He does indeed have a flashlight, so might have been trying to stealth for a flashlight save, but opting to go for the early pull instead. Just deciding to sit around. Definitely wise. You want the Spirit to be fully out of her power, fully out of juice, so that she can't immediately just head back. Trying to see where the... Oh, getting the endurance hit on Ace as he's playing Shaq. Where... Oh. Spirit leaving. Looking at 8 again. Pathing up to 11. We'll see if we find anyone here. Oh! Quentin has been found. This might be another fresh hook. And as we know, there is a Scourge hook here. Oh, very, very nice. We do take the Vault. Not resulting in a tag. The Spirit decided to double back. The double back. Yes. Very nice. Oh, vaulting into Shaq. Ghosty. Oh my god. Are we going to see a down hit? No, we're not. 4.4, of course. Ghosty, how do you think Potato's been playing so far?
I think Potato's in a relatively good position at the moment. A 4K1 definitely on board at the moment, with a quick down most likely comes around to Ace. Ooh, maybe not, with a nice read on the Villa pallet on the mid-12 side, allowing our Quentin to try and get back onto the generator. And I think earlier on, Telly, I don't think Quentin was looking at a flashlight save. I think we were looking for the reset onto our Ace, but Potato Savage, knowing that we saw some crows and most likely they were working on our bus side, probably assumed that Ace was trying to stealth down the 9 side of the map. So unfortunately, I think he's getting caught out a bit too quickly so that reset was not able to come through. So we're in this sort of predicament where Ace isn't able to get reset and Quentin is just playing their life at the moment. If they get tagged here, it could be very detrimental since we still do have a Pain Raise on the board. We'll then have Turnback and Eruption to follow up with on the 2 active gens we know our Spirit has been working on, but also Eruption being down on these 2 generators can be very problematic for these survivors, because if Ace gets caught out and we have a very quick down, that's Eruption on both generators, and if we don't let go, obviously Quentin's aura will be revealed, allowing Potato Savage to know exactly where they are. But we're in this sort of a deadlock. Our survivors are playing the 2v1 exceptionally well, stealthing out Potato Savage, but in saying that, unfortunately, as our Quentin was not quite able to stealth around the bus with Fixated and avoid being spotted by Potato Savage, so I believe this is most likely going to be Quentin's health state disappearing. Getting a little bit of Fixated value, though, from being able to walk with that elevated move, or a little bit of haste that you get from Fixated, but we have run into the car, unfortunately, so lost a bunch of our distance being tagged into for it. So this is where our survivors need to make a decision. Do they just try and hard belt the gens while injured and hope that one of the survivors has a juice chase, or push for the resets? But it looks like it's not going to be either of those options, since poor Ace does get caught out on the shack side near our hill, and we'll be going down very nicely in the deep 6 side, where we've seen our deaths normally earlier on, and a really good death spot for Quentin as well, since this will give them that time to sort of cross the map and try and work their way down if they do want to attempt to get Ace off the hook and still push for the possibility of that 4K0. But in a killer set like Spirit 2v1, chances are this is basically going to probably be where the match ends up, since both survivors are going to be injured. Potato Savage can just immediately come straight back to the hook and find hopefully one of our survivors after the unhook goes through, and then it's just a quick chase since both survivors are now injured and not going to probably have that time to reset, leading to our final survivors being removed from the trial. And this hook here by our 7 car pile will be a bit of a rough hook for our Quentin as well, since it's still relatively close to Shack, meaning that hatch maybe won't even be an option for them. So at this stage, I'm pretty sure the 4K1 has been locked in for Potato Savage after a beautiful performance, even though I feel that dumpster pallet on the 12 side probably should have been broken a bit sooner, because having that window to chain into that very, very strong pallet is a disgusting loop to play. But in saying that, we have found the Quentin trying to fixate walk around little rubbish pile. Obviously, blood cannot be removed from Fixated, and we did attempt the window double back, but it did not work in our favor. Going for a bit of an FOB, taking a spin, but not working out for Quentin. So unfortunately, dying just a bit too early, so we can't attempt to go for a point tech for that hatch. But I don't think Potato Savage would have been able to allow that, or he would have just fully denied it anyway. So 4K1, sort of what you'd expect in the Spirit setting. Obviously, we do have the pay for your perks mechanic in this season, so it can potentially impact how the sets go. But in saying that as well, considering that we've hit where you'd expect to normally see a Spirit set between the 4K0 to 4K1, if not the very, very high stages, still very well played by us.
Hello everyone, welcome back from our little intermission there. We're back with Severance versus Radiant. This is our second set of Spirit. Last time Severance achieved a 4K1 result. Now we have, for the win condition, a 4K2. Joining me tonight once again is my absolute goat, Ghosty. Ghosty, how are we feeling about this match tonight?
So far, it's definitely off to the races with a really strong performance from Severance's killer to lock in that 4K1, putting up a 4K2 win con for Jiggy for Radiant, which it is Spirit, the Queen of Chase. Definitely a win con you could achieve, but if we get a long-standing first test, it could be a bit dire for our Radiant killer. But in saying that, we do get a very nice tag early on. I believe this is on to Hank. Hank, a very good tag, and does have Shack to play, which is where you want to be at for this sort of position, and getting the pallet drop as well, exactly what we need to extend this chase. But that is a strong resource burnt very early. Do have the crane pallet as well to use, which unfortunately mean for our Severance survivors another very strong resource being removed, and unfortunately not getting the hit through the crane window, and the pallet I believe still being up means we get to play another loop around this as well. As we can see though, for poor Kank, he is down a perk and only has resilience to play with at the moment, being also the equitable player as well, but is doing a fantastic job with these pallet drops and this overall chase. Getting this done once again onto Jiggy, but I believe we're looking like we're going to be accepting our death, but a nice little crouch means we get all the way over into the corner side of, I believe we're at 1 at the moment. So as much as for Kank, this will be the end of the run. That was a fantastic starting chase when your win con is a 4K2. That's what you want to be doing for the Survivor side. We do get a generator popping for it, I believe, we saw Painter's come through, and as we can see, the money to get perks is coming to play heavily with, I believe that was Ruthless, only
Yeah,
having life.
I just
So,
was about to say
yeah.
something about that. Oh my god. They trust this man a lot. They trust this
Could
man
be a saving
very.
money, though, as well, Telly, considering that you obviously don't have that limited funds to play out the match, but yeah, we did get our first pain raise at a good spot. We don't have time at the clock time. We've opted to go for Call of Brian, which I think is probably one of the more cheaper perks, I would believe, if I'm taking a bit of a guess. So it might be why we opted for Call of Brian, so we can spend some of that money in the later sets as well. Maybe bring out some more heavier hitting perks for the follow-up sets, especially if the first set did not go the way we wanted it to. But we are on Potato Savage down on the 6th side of the map, and this was our previous Spirit killer, so obviously you would expect them to know this killer quite well, and we have the Champion of Light fixated combo, very devastating against a killer like Spirit with that enhanced move speed with walking, with Champion Light and fixated. Very powerful perk combination against a killer like Spirit, but without something like Built to Last where you could replenish those flashlight charges, you only have a limited time of use, and we have managed to find out Kank, which was our first hook, and definitely who we wanted to try and get out of the trial very quickly, but honestly, Telly, Kank has played a fantastic game so far with their chases, knowing when to send it and good jiggies to make. And just in general, lasting quite a long time. They do unfortunately cop the tag on the 1 side, but we don't have the Crane Pallet anymore to play for, and you only have this filler down on the 5 side, so I think this will be the end for Kank. No, we missed the swing through the pallet and allows Kank to make it all the way down to the mid-6 side of the map into a much stronger resource and getting the pallet done once again. This is scary, I'd have to say, for Radiant side. Telly, our Severance Lows are definitely putting on a show with the pressure and these chases all starting to pile up for our poor killer player.
That that it is. They're having a field day right now. Kank has been playing so amazingly. For Severance currently, are we gonna see Potato Savage get the save here? It doesn't look like it. We get caught out trying to go for that pallet save, playing the cheeky little Z wall. Gets a medium. Okay, I did not think that was gonna be a medium, but you know, opts not to go for the pickup. Probably a very good idea. Tries to go for the crouch, but of course, because he's injured, it doesn't work out as well as we'd hope. We are going to be looking at our 3rd gen popping, and maybe our 4th from Ruthless if we manage to get there in time. Yes, we are, meaning Severance is going to be taking out... Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I'm falsely communicating. Tie. Yes. Thank you. Well, I caught myself before I said that. Whew. What it will mean, though, is that Radiant cannot win this, and the best that they can get is a tie. Meaning that we head into our unknown set for our tiebreaker, which I'm kind of excited for. I would like an unknown set. I don't think we see enough unknown in comp.
I
Unknowns
mean, real quick, Telly, though, remember the match isn't over yet, and if Severance do pop one more gen, they actually do take the Spirit set, remember. We have lost the win condition, but the Survivor side are still playing for the win for this set.
True. I'm just saying, I would like to see an unknown set, though. Looking for, are we going to 1-to-1 trade this? We are indeed. Kank going out. Most likely we'll be tunneling out Kank, as he is Death Hook currently. Manages to catch out Ruthless. Ruthless heading up our left side all the way to 9. Are we going to be committing Ruthless? We are. Heading back. Oh, no, not heading back. I thought that turnaround was going to be a path backwards. Oh, fakes the pallet. Very clean. We managed to get Potato off of the hook, pathing around, trying to get the pit on our ace, which we do with Kank. Looking around our 7 side, finding Ace once again at deep 6. And it looks like, yep, our Ace will be going down. We did get Eruption on that top 12 gen there. Oh, 12 or 11? That looks like 11 now that I look at it. But we are going to be getting a PR hook too as well. We do know that that gen had people working on it, so we'll most likely be heading back there. Kank has both Resi and Dead Hard, so he can still last quite a long time in chase despite being the tunnel out. He does have the perks there to help him. Ruthless as well, running only a single perk. Oh, and it looks like they've found them with Ruthless going down and Potato Savage running off over to 11. Looks like we're gonna opt to go. We're moving over to 11 for this Pain Res hook, where we will most likely continue chase with words. English dictionary. Can't speak properly. With Potato Savage is what I would have thought if we weren't rotating more towards bot mid and now cycling around the left side, heading back to 11 for their pick. Potato Savage and Ruthless both know what's coming. We'll see if we get the down here. Ruthless once again. Do we make the pallet before endurance? We do. Looks like we're going to be committing Ruthless here. Opting not. Oh. Are we going to see a bit of a jiggy with the power? Very good read on that. Ruthless couldn't have taken the pallet as he would have gone down anyway. But all in all, it was a really solid chase from Ruthless. Definitely had the mechanics down. And I can honestly see why he was the one chosen to only have one perk. It definitely makes a whole lot of sense. Unluckily though, we did get hooked right next to our high progress gen inside of Shack with an instant pull coming through, meaning Ruthless is actually in a pretty bad position right now, but doesn't opt to go for the tunnel out. Heading over to 8 instead, where, oh, now we're on top of hill at shallow 6, heading through mid 6 to deep 6. We do see another survivor, opts to not chase them. Looks like we're more concerned about the gens than we are anything else. Once again, proccing Call of Brine on that Shack gen once again. Trying to see if we can find it. Oh no, Potato Savage leering his head around accidentally. We'll see what happens here now. Most likely Potato Savage will be doing the Fixated and Champion of Light tech. Doesn't look like it, just held W all the way to deep 6. Though our Spirit does know better than to commit that sort of chase, especially with such a high progress gen on the board. Finding out, ooh, finding Kank, our other tunnel out. Gets the quick tag, but with no sloppy, he might be reset faster than Jiggy would like. Getting another kick. I believe our survivors are just playing for kicks here. We're just going to try drain out all of the kicks on that mid-gen. We saw some blood and scratch marks, meaning that that's Kank down there. It is... Oh, no it's not. Maybe it wasn't blood? Maybe I'm crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. Anyway, wrapping back to the game. Oh, once again, we see the Fixated Champion combo coming through. We aren't sure how many charges Potato Savage has left on that flashlight, but judging from the quick use of it and the not so big use of it during that shallow 6 chase, I'd say he has not that much. Very good job on that slow vault, where Jiggy then decides to leave it. I think Call of Brine definitely is putting in a lot of work here. That 200% regression is doing wonders for that mid-gen. As long as the survivors are staying off of the gen, Call of Brine will do its absolute best. Managing to catch out Kank, our other tunnel out here, but most likely we won't be tunneling out as we haven't been before. I'm gonna eat my words. Just eat my words. Why do I speak? Nobody knows. Running it back once again. Kank going down. Oh no, with the dead hard. I completely forgot Kank had dead hard, meaning that Severance manages to pop that mid-gen. Also meaning that Severance takes the first set with Spirit. With Kank going down, the result's still secured. Severance takes the first set. Very, very well played. That last gen was incredible. I loved that. They played both sides played incredibly well. It was really entertaining to watch. We saw Jiggy using his absolute big brain moves, knowing when to commit a chase, when not to commit a chase, getting huge Call of Brian value off of that mid-gen from being around 95-ish to when we last saw it with our ace I'm not even gonna try to say that name because I'm gonna butcher it. Apologies. With our ace, where it looked to be more like 55%, so huge value off of that. We even managed to get to finish the match without a pain resonance being used, which admittedly does kind of suck for Jiggy. That pain resonance probably could have come in clutch massively. Not. Are we still playing the tile? No, I wouldn't imagine so. Even with the hit on Potato Savage, you still would have gotten out regardless. But good game to both sides. Very.
Yep. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned for us while we went through that short intermission to set up the second game for you all tonight. If you are only just tuning in, we have Severance versus Radiant in the first round playoffs, and we just seen Severance set pick and Severance taking it for the Spirit set with a 4K1 result taking the win. And I believe we looked at, I think it was roughly 10 stages. My brain's a little bit fuzzy, so I think it was around the 10 stage 4 fresh one, which is still a very nice result in a Spirit setting. But we are now transitioning to Radiant set pick of the first, a very rare set to see and still pretty new on the comp scene. And with Pizza Goggles, we are immediately into chase for Jiggy onto our Poor Dwight and copying a very quick M1 tag. But obviously, we need to get our power going. Being in World Breaker mode is where Vecna thrives to be in, and we do get a very nice Vine attack onto Ruthless, and this could be the follow-up to put into World Breaker, but no, we missed the second hit, so we get a little bit more distance, and a nice little dodge from Ruthless gets him all the way down to the bot side, but the second tag does come through, so we are in World Breaker where our blind attacks now do damage, so this is exactly what Jiggy wants to be in to start putting the pressure up. But regardless if Ruthless has a short chase or long chase or does go down now, he has bought enough time for Ruin to be removed from the trial and a lot of progress over 2 split generators to be built up. So we do have Pain Rays to fall back onto alongside Eruption and Call of Brian coming back again, which I think has just been a bit of a... We can't afford too much, so let's have a bit of a cheaper purchase so we can beef up other things. Kank, as we saw again, once again restricted to 3 person same as before, and V-Links on the 5 moves balanced Asia, and I think the core Ruthless is once again only having Lithe. So very, I think, similar builds that we saw in our Spirit set, but we've interrupted one of our early gens that we saw that had such high progress. I believe that did get hit with Pain Rays, so we weren't able to pop it. And Potato Savage has been pushed off of it as well, so we weren't able to get our first gen pop of the trial. We had managed to get Ruthless off the hook, but Potato Savage in a really rough spot now, being forced to the corner map with World Breaker still having a bit of time. We need to literally last maybe another 10 more seconds, and not even that, like another 3 more seconds and then get out of World Breaker and make sure the blind attack doesn't do damage. A beautiful dodge does deny the down with Vine attack, but we are still in a rough spot with only having the 0. We need to try and make it back to that car filler pallet, which we may be able to do since we no longer have the Vine attack, so we are able to make the filler pallet on the car pallet again, which is what we wanted. We don't want to be trapped on that 0. Dodging the Vine attack again, and a follow-up one as well for that first generator of the trial to pop. Potato Savage pulling up a beautiful chase right now, avoiding a third Vine attack again, and it looks like Jiggy might have just had enough, going back into the undergate and dipping out of there with the Pizza Goggles to have that movement speed as our second gen does pop of the trial. What an explosive start. Telly, I remember hearing you say you haven't actually seen a Vector set. Was this what you were expecting?
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting something. not sure what that was anymore. All my proportions have blown completely out of the water, and I am very impressed. Color me impressed. Wow. And also, Potato Savage's amazing chase as well, dodging all of those vine attacks in World Breaker and out of World Breaker. Of course, the moment I say that, he gets tagged by one. Interesting choice with the Fixated and Champion of Light, though. From the looks of it, that managed to do him wonders. That was really interesting. Going through main right now. Oh, catching out Violent, but opting instead to head to 11. Looks like we might be trying to catch out Ruthless, maybe, who's sitting currently at the border of 9, going into 10. We do spot another survivor. It looks to be Potato Savage, getting a cheeky sprint burst off, taking the chase down towards the bottom of the map. I'm wondering, how are we gonna play this? And gets a blind off with Champion? Still gets hit by the vine attack, but that was crazy. Getting just a free blind off of that. I'm at the loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. Potato Savage has been playing absolutely incredible tonight. I'm hoping that we see a lot more to come in both next match, if he's playing Vecna, and the rest of this one, and potentially the unknown set as well. Looks like we're heading back over to main. We get another gen pop with only one stage on the board. It's looking to be a pretty low stage game right now, so I'm not entirely sure on the whole logistics of the most accurate times that, sorry, not times, what am I talking about? Results for Vecna is, I've been told that it's either 4K1, 4K0 or high stages, but from the looks of it, unless we get a really good comeback here, it could be a bit of an issue. We do get a bit of a missed skill check on main there, and I want to apologize to our ace before for incorrectly pronouncing a name. That's my fault. They are violent. That's completely my fault. I am not the brightest of the bunch. This is a well-established fact. Looks like we're going to be moving back to 11. With this, the gen we know Ruthless was on earlier, and just as I say that, we see him stealthing over to 10. Looks like we're just going to be playing out 3-gen. It is a very, very clean 3-gen, as it's all 3-gens in a line. Realistically, with Pete's goggles right now, we can just use it to continuously go, and that's World Breaker mode. What are we going to be choosing to go here? Ooh, kind of playing it, looking like he's going to go down to the basement, but instead just stays at the top there. Looks like we're going to be going back to this mid-gen here, popping out of Underworld Gate. I think that's the name of the power.
Undergate, yeah.
Undergate, yes, thank you. And as you can tell, I have like next to no knowledge about Lich. Not Lich, Vecna. Oh my god. Not the brightest of the bunch. Yes, if you don't know me, my name's Telly. I can't think straight half the time. I'm very dumb. Anyway, continuing on, more important things to do. Casting the game, watching it, it's really oh, very nice tag onto Kank there. Are we gonna get a follow-up? No, we aren't. Getting the last gen to pop. We still only have one stage on the board. Kank, if Kank goes down here, we could be looking at a tunnel out. Oh, sorry, a camp out, I should say. Oh, but Potato Savage doesn't let it happen. Coming in with another blind. And if they manage to pop here, I think that might just be wrapped for the first set.
Welcome back all. After a very short intermission, we are back to the second set, second game of the match between Severance and Radiant. If you are tuning in just now, so far we are looking at a 1-0 lead to Severance. And going into this second set, unfortunately for Radiant, they have got a monumental task ahead of them, since unfortunately their killer was only able to secure one stage after a really nice flashlight save came through from Potato Savage to 9, potentially 3 more stages coming through. Unfortunately, that is not what we want, but in saying that as well, this is definitely not the follow-up of what you want, being hit with the undergate to go immediately into World Breaker. A blind attack coming through, and the down already onto AC coming through. This is devastating for Radiant survivors. Obviously, the mental may be a little bit low since a very rough killer game and a very tough, on the verge, if not impossible win condition. With no more win con, we are already at Tycon. That undergate hit to start things off really just showed what's in store for our survivors, unfortunately, for this set. Not opting for the pizza goggles means we do have that much larger circle when we come out of undergate and can try and use it to immediately get into World Breaker. Maybe our survivors of Radiant weren't prepared for it and were maybe expecting the pizza goggles to come back out again, since it's usually the more preferred add-on pairing you would expect to see for the Vecna killer. But nope, we have not used it this time around, and it has led us to immediately go into World Breaker, getting a nice tag onto G in the final quarter of our World Breaker timer. Can we get the follow-up through the wall? We get the follow-up through the wall! Telly, it's unfortunately for Radiant survivors, GG's at this point, because this is the second stage needed to secure not only the set, but the match 2-0, but what a start for Kang. My goodness.
And we've already taken the game. It was really unlucky with the one stage. What I am noticing more and more about Vecna though is that his whole thing is trying to mentally play out the other person. Especially noticing that if you notice during the first chase with Az, he, rather than doubling back on himself like you would normally do against a Vecna who has the big circle, he kept running forward, assuming it's pizza goggles. And obviously we saw how that went. So, and especially with his power, if for example here, you are basically in a 1v1 mind game with the survivor where do they double back? Do they hold forward? Do they do some other weird jiggy tap stuff? Like, it's really interesting to see that it is entirely psychological. It's entirely psychologically based. Speaking of psychologically based, we might see Jiggy hit second stage. Definitely won't be. Yep, we do. Definitely not going to be a great psychological motivator for this match. Though I would agree with you, as you said earlier. Oh, a very nice prediction from Kank. As you said before, though, Ghosty, I would imagine that spirits would be pretty low for this game, especially with that incredibly low Tycon. Result. It would make more sense. They got set previously, and I couldn't lie, if I was rating, I would be feeling pretty down as well. Although, props to them, they are still playing it out. We love to see it. We love to, you know, still see the entertainment. Unluckily, we get another down on our Jake, which I believe, oh, no, I thought this was a skirt choke. It was not. I've been lying to myself. We've got it again. Oh, and Az seems to be having fun, or doing it again. Not sure what that's about, but you know, if he's finding some way to have fun, so props to him. Wish I was as happy as him all the time. I have no clue what he's planning. He's just having fun. Oh, he doesn't even care. Oh, He's trying to signal Batman. He wants Batman to come save, and we get a little spin from Kong too, with the feet shot of. I didn't even know he had feet. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not been paying attention to fucking the first feet. I now know he has feet. You learn something new every day, but yeah, I can't lie. Shout out Az, that was really funny. I'd imagine chat would be going incredibly crazy for that. I definitely would be. Bit unlucky though, we did get that a slower version of the power, as it was coming out of the back of popping the save. We do have a survivor in the locker, though it doesn't look like Conk heard him. Really good mind games going on right here. Unluckily, we get hit. Neck Tendril. I didn't even realize that we had the sloppy add-on. Really intelligent. Oh, and we got body blocked by Az. Az might be trying to have a bit of fun with his team currently. Oh, are we going to be looking for a flashy save currently? If we get one, he might get revenge from Potato Salad. Oh. Oh! Was that head on? Okay, now I'm confused.
It was.
That was head on. And it didn't work? I thought he was close enough. Not sure why he decided to 99 that, to be honest. It is hooked, so it would be incredibly slow. Oh! Okay, we get a random flick into damaging Astor. What I'm wondering is, they seem to all be enjoying themselves now. They know it's over. They're gonna spend their last few minutes this game enjoying themselves. I'm looking to see a 1v1 at Shack. Oh, we got the head on from earlier. Oh, I thought that was gonna be a blind. I can't lie. I'm not sure why it was placed so far back there, but the game is game. Az gets picked up. Oh. From around where he got down early, and Gank knows he's in there. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Does he get? Oh my god! Az, man, what are you doing? Well, the game Severance has taken the game, so I guess they are just having fun. It is all in good jest. Little quick nods. We do know this isn't mutual, so it's not like they'll get penalized for this. Jiggy's still trying to do gens, but I think I think our Jake, our Ace, and our Quentin have both opted, or sorry, both, all three of them have opted to have fun. Honestly, this feels more like a pub match than anything. Shows his head, trying to. Oh, looks like we're going to be getting a nice juice to chase.
I mean, at this stage, Kelly, like, the win content net, so there isn't really too much to really go crazy for or like play that super serious. Like, I'm trying to see the goofy sort of playstyle coming through to like have a little bit of fun, since the match is officially over at this point. The match has been won, so have a bit of fun with it to finish off the match, you know. Show what you're capable of, do some goofy plays like I saw with the almost Bamba save and the M1 on the hill, and we're just watching them down into a head-on. But one thing I have to mention that we saw with this game, as alongside being a bit of a wholesome killer, because I believe we literally have 2 hooked every survivor up until this point, but the snowball potential that you can potentially pull off with this killer, but overall also landing your vine attacks. I think that Kank has shown that if you do land these vine attacks, it can be devastating for our survivors. And also hitting that undergate right at the start of the trial, not only do you have to worry about the fact that one of your survivors now immediately has 2 tokens on their person, which if they're on death hook and they have 4 tokens and you get hit with vine attack, you are just Moriable with the short Mori. And that's just someone out of the game if they're in pain. Sweet, quick kill, back into the action again. But one of the most devastating things you can have in a Vecna set is being hit by that Undergate attack. It really sets a strong starting for a Vecna, putting 2 tokens onto a Survivor, immediately going into that World Breaker mode so your Vine attacks do the damage. And then, yeah, from there, it's just you go straight into a chase with your power on hand. Speaking of power, it has unfortunately ran out, but we've got a third stack onto our ace Astro, I believe, and with that second, we are immediately back into World Breaker, and the Ender tag is also coming through. I believe we may actually see the mini Moray popping up very shortly, since our ace does have all 4 tokens on them, and if they get hit with the flying attack, they will be elevated for the Moray. The stare of Vecna with the hand taken out. Goodbye, ace. You will be missed. But yeah, I can understand why our Radiant Survivors may have just been more playing for that goofy sort of let's have some fun. The race to Shack begins for the hatch, and it looks like we've realized, Jake realizes it's not happening. We cannot outrun a Vecna all the way to Shack at this point.
Shack 1v1, please. I want to
We
see
might
Shack
see
one.
it. We may see it, but also we may just see the end of the match, since obviously it is over, so maybe the team wants to just wrap things up. We are sort of stealthing around the car, maybe trying to sneak back over towards the Shack to potentially still get hatched, since it hasn't been closed yet. So maybe Kank is feeling generous and is willing to let our Jake go through the hatch, since we could have closed it ages ago, but we've opted not to.
That's why
Yeah,
it didn't get closed.
that's why it didn't get closed. All has been revealed why it did not get closed, because
it was Shack at main, so we put the wrong offering.
Unless we are allowed the main offering, yeah, Hatch at main makes a lot more sense now why Kank didn't just immediately close Hatch, and Adam is just as shocked, I believe, as Kank was.
He's like, can you believe this?
Like, I believe there should be a dark, gloomy hole here.
Yes,
and it looks
Shack
like we might
1v1s.
be getting what you requested, Kelly. We do have the 1v1 looking to be set up here. We don't have the Shack palette, so unfortunately we don't have that to play for. But we will be starting off a 1v1. The crowd come through, so we are beginning with the time of the endgame also ticking down. Obviously, it won't take too long if we manage to outrun time even better, but we do get our first tag with the Vine attack, meaning we do make a lot of distance over towards our main side, reaching all the way over to 1, holding a lot of distance, which is what you need to do against this killer, just try and hold as much distance as possible. Is going to last long enough as well for the World Breakout to diminish, unless it's come through. It runs out just in time, so we don't go down to that follow-up Vine attack. And looks like we are going for a cheeky little head-on, but Kank is none the wiser, knows to go for the locker around the side, not the one closer to them. So this will be a 4K at, I think it was 2 or 1 change left, Telly, which I believe I mentioned to you that this is the result you can see, even though we did have some goofing around. The 4K 1 is a result you could see with this killer if you get stuff like that style we saw from Kank with that undergrad hit